back, Space Cadets, to another night of VBS 2020 Space, Supernatural Encounters with God.
Thank you for joining us for this first ever virtual VBS from space.
We want to remind you that we're working all week on an offering project for Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. And our overall goal is $600. And we keep track of how much the boys bring in and how much the girls bring in. And at the end of this week, we will have totals to find out who gets to have bragging rights for the year, the girls or the boys. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Mission control is all set. They've linked in with the space station, so I think we're ready to go.
All right, well, let's count down to tonight's transmission from space with Dr. Prove It, Houston Ann, and Rocket Dan. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
During VBS this year, we're collecting money to help provide supplies for our annual Operation Christmas Child shoebox packing party in November. Let's watch this video about the ministry of OCC, then we'll be back with more details.
The kids are playing, are laughing, joyful.
It's like a whole world to them, because for the first time they have received this precious gift.
Operation Christmas Child gives our church an opportunity to touch the world.
It's a great adventure to evangelize.
You've got an army of volunteers that pack the boxes. They're helping OCC to take the gospel literally to millions of children.
This is the Good Samaritan work that the Lord is looking for people to do.
Getting people locally to think globally.
What I love about OCC is that they are intentional about pouring into the lives of kids.
They receive a box and also an invitation to come back and learn more about Christ.
We just don't want to just hand out a box and stop there. We want them to grow in their faith.
It's a great tool, an effective tool to reach communities with the gospel of Jesus.
It's exciting to get people to heaven, but it's also exciting to get heaven to people.
We can't wait for you to help pack shoeboxes with us in November, but first we need to talk about our offering contest details. Our VBS goal is to raise at least $600. Even though we're not meeting in person, we're still having our annual Boys vs. Girls offering competition. Starting Monday night, the group who brought in the most money the previous night will be announced during our video streaming from CW Space Station. Keep an eye out on Friday, July 24th for a special transmission from space, announcing the overall winners for the week. The winning team, you earn bragging rights for the year. There will also be a far-out space event broadcast if we hit or exceed our offering goal. Here's how you can give. There will be a place in the front office July 20th through the 23rd between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to drop off your donations for either the boys or the girls. You can also give online at cwmc.church/give and select a VBS for your offering type. Online donations will be split equally between the boys and the girls unless you email Tim at cwmc.church and let Tim know where you would like the funds to go to, either the boys team or the girls team.
Hey everybody, welcome back to VBS 2020 Space, Supernatural Encounters with God.
Space!
You good?
Yeah.
I'm Houston Ann, and this is Rocket Dan.
Rocket Dan! Rocket and a Dan!
Okay, thank you very much, Rocket Dan.
Rocket Dan!
We're so glad you're here, and by the way,
That was Rocket Dan in a minor key.
Okay, thank you. We're so glad that you guys are here and joining us. I don't know how many of you have been here every night since Sunday, but
this is our last night.
This is our last night, you're right.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, so it is a sad thing, but we have had a lot of fun with you guys. We have learned a lot of things. about space and about the Bible and about God who loves us.
How many of you have been here every night with us? Have you been here? Yeah? Oh, I see you. Yeah, thanks for showing up every night. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. So let's talk about our theme verse. We've had a theme verse all week, and it's Psalms 8, verses 3 and 4. It says, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place. Who is this we're talking about?
I think we're talking about God here.
I think so too. It says this question, what is mankind that you are mindful of them, and human beings that you care for them? You know, it's a good question. God created everything. You talked about this on Sunday.
Yeah.
God created everything, the universe, all the stuff that we're seeing here in space, and yet he cares about us.
He did it all for us.
He loves us, and he wants to be a part of our lives. Isn't that incredible?
Pretty amazing.
So we want to recap kind of the things that we've learned. So on Sunday, our log it was this.
Log it.
God can supernaturally recreate anything out of nothing, including us.
Log it.
Right? And our verse was Genesis 1:1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then on Monday. Our log it.
Log it. Was God can speak to us anytime or anywhere, even in supernatural ways.
Right, and in that story we talked about how God spoke to Moses out of a burning bush that never burned up. So that was pretty supernatural. On Tuesday, our log it was when God calls you to do something, he will empower you to do it, even sometimes supernaturally. And if you remember, you were outside in space and you thought you couldn't get from one place to the other, and then you realized that you had a jetpack.
Oh, yeah.
And it reminded you of the story of how Peter was empowered by God to do the impossible.
Man,
right?
That's cool. We walked on water.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, our log it was when Jesus comes into your life, you're supernaturally transformed. And last night we talked about the story of Mary Magdalene and how Jesus, when he came to earth, he transformed her life and she served him the rest of her life.
And what was so cool about that for me is I actually prayed that Jesus would help me transform last night. And man, that was awesome for me to have that feeling, and that was great.
Yeah, so. That's cool. So you know what? Tonight we have a couple things we want to show in space, because every night we do something cool in space,
yeah, we
right?
do.
And you know what? You're going to be able to go out in space again and see it in just a little bit.
We're going out in space tonight?
You're going in space.
I'm thinking maybe you should join. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But first, let's show you these really cool things in space. The first thing I want to show you is a potato moon.
Potato moon?
Yeah, I think it's an asteroid that looks like a potato. But it's just floating around out there.
Spud in space.
Isn't it? That's totally true. They should have called it that.
Yeah.
So we got...
Like it's a Spud. If his name was Nick, it'd be Spud Nick. You know, yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice play on words.
Yeah.
So the potato moon.
Kind of makes me hungry.
But here's another one.
You ever have potatoes for dinner?
No.
No.
All right, this one's really cool though. See, it's all white. And it's got, see that slug? It's called the Pluto slug. And it looks like a slug is making its way up across Pluto.
What kind of face does a slug have? Do you know? Like, is that it right there?
I don't know.
That's a good face.
I've never really seen a slug up close, especially.
Do they have like antennas?
Especially on Pluto. I've never seen. Yeah, that's a lovely face.
That's a slug face.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, I would prefer you don't make that ever again.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
It was a
super. So there's gonna be kids that are scared because that was a scary face.
Probably
I just don't
offended
think.
the slug too.
Yeah, probably. So anyway, we've got to go and get ready for you to go out in space.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about now?
So yeah, I probably should. So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I've been out in space a couple times.
Yeah.
And you've been in here giving me really good instructions.
Right.
And so I thought tonight maybe you would join me in space.
Well, who's going to be on comms and talking to us
Well, I thought we have our friend Dr. Pruitt, and she's been doing so. Last night was a really good moment for her, and I think she could do it, and I think do all the comms, and you could join, put your spacesuit pants on, and come out with me. What do you guys think, boys and girls? Do you think that Houston Ann should join me tonight? They are all saying yes, which means, what do you say?
I'll go out
You're gonna go out in space?
tonight, sure, no problem.
Awesome, I got a space suit. Let's go get you all geared up.
Let's go get prepared, okay.
Something I've seen, never heard before. It's supernatural. Step into us into everything you have for us. We're going up, moving out of the natural, stepping into the promises of your word. We're going up, moving out of the natural. Whoa. Something never seen, never heard. It's supernatural. Step into the new, see the old no more. It's supernatural. Take us higher. Take us deeper. Take us into everything you have for us. We're going up, moving out of the natural, stepping into the promises of your word. We're going up, moving out of the natural. Whoa. We're going up, moving out of the natural, stepping into the promises of your word. We're going up, moving out of the natural. Whoa. Are you ready for His power? Are you ready? It's supernatural. Are you ready for His power? Are you ready? It's supernatural. Going up, moving out of the natural, stepping into the promises of your word. We're going up, moving out of the natural. Whoa. We're going up, moving out of the natural, stepping into the promises of your word. We're going up, moving out of the natural. Whoa.
I told you you would like this.
All right, so I'm back here on comms. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, that voice
we
pierces
can.
through all the time.
Don't pick on Dr. Pruitt's voice.
Oh, it's
All right, airflow looks good. Oxygen levels good. All
Yeah.
right, how is it out there?
It's
Good.
amazing.
I've been looking for those nebula gas things from that other day you told us about.
I think that potato moon is going by.
Yeah, that Spud.
That's
asteroid or whatever.
amazing.
Yeah,
I just want to like push you off.
I know. My jetpack, I
But
can.
you can't really push off of anything in space. There's nothing to
Good.
push off of.
This is so good. This is fun.
Gravity.
I told you. Do you see that over there?
What?
Yeah, that went by. Never mind. So yeah,
Oh, is that a shooting star?
there's a shooting star. by
Woo,
you.
right on
Yeah,
by.
Good.
Wow, Dr. Pruitt, you should come out here sometime. This is so amazing. You know what? I can't wait to get back to Earth to tell everybody about how awesome this was.
I know. You're a natural, Houston Ann.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
love
hey,
floating in space.
We're in space. You can even do the moonwalk out here. Let's see. Try it.
I cannot moonwalk
Yeah.
anywhere.
Well, you can when you're in space. Do it.
I
Go
think
for
I
it.
need a jetpack.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have the jetpack to do it. That only goes forward.
No.
It looks so amazing watching you guys out there. You know, it reminds me of something I read in the Bible last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was a supernatural story. Why don't you guys come in and then I'll tell it to you.
All right. We'll be
Okay,
in there
we'll
in a
come
second.
in a minute. I'm gonna go up this way. Wow, that was so awesome. I'm so glad, Rocket Dan, that you wanted me to go out in space because that was so amazing, Dr. Pruitt. I wish you could have been out there because
You were so
everything
good.
was so awesome, and to see all that stuff that God created, all that supernatural stuff, it was so awesome.
That's so
loved it.
amazing.
She's
And
really
guys-
excited. I don't know if you can tell.
You guys were so good out there. But I wanted to tell you about this supernatural story that I read in the Bible.
I can't wait to hear it. All the supernatural stuff is so cool.
Well, I've been learning so much this week with both of you guys, and I was reading my Bible on my own last night.
That's so awesome.
And, oh, thanks. And I learned some new things about God and this supernatural story because all of these stories we've shared this week are all pointing us to God and telling us about Him so then we can tell others about Him.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, because God created us, He communicates with us, He empowers us, and then He transforms us.
That's everything we've talked about all week.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And the reason He does all that is so that we can tell others about it.
That's incredible.
Oh, like our moms and our dads?
Yeah.
And our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that we go to school with.
Yeah, and all the toys I play with, they need to know.
Sure, you
Yeah.
can tell them too.
Yeah.
Well, so last night we talked about Mary who talked to Jesus and how it changed her. And that changed us a lot, Rocket Dan, after we prayed. Well, then I kept reading. And Jesus, He was getting ready to leave after He spent some time on the earth. You know, He died, He rose again, He spent time with His friends, and then He was getting ready to go back home to
didn't stay
heaven.
here.
He didn't stay down
Okay.
here. No, that's what I
Okay.
learned. And so He met with His disciples and gave them one last message before He went up to heaven.
A last message.
Really?
That must be important.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's pretty important.
Yeah.
I heard some people talk about it and they call it the Great Commission.
Oh,
Commission.
that sounds cool. The
Yeah.
Great Commission.
Supernatural stuff.
Space.
I think so.
That sounds awesome.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it happened in space.
Oh.
I probably didn't. I probably happened on Earth.
I
That's
think
where Jesus
so.
was.
That's what it seemed like to me. Because
Okay.
I was reading.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And so that Great Commission, I was reading it in Matthew 28, 18
Okay.
through 20. And I'll just kind of tell you guys what it said. It was
Okay.
Jesus talking to His disciples, and He said that now that He was leaving them, He wanted them to go and tell the whole world about God.
Where were they supposed to go?
Into all the worlds.
Go everywhere?
Maybe even into space.
Well,
And then
like
they-
we're in space talking about God.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, and He said to help other people get to know God and then to teach them so that they can help other people get to know God.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So tell people about God. Those people 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 tell people about God.
We get it.
The-
I think you got it though. That's the exact
and then they tell people
idea.
about God.
Yeah. That's a lot of telling.
Yeah.
And this was the really cool thing I learned, is that that message wasn't just for the disciples. It's for us too.
For us.
So what you're saying is we're supposed to tell people about God, and then they're supposed to tell people about God, and then they're supposed to tell people about... Too much?
Too much.
Okay.
But He's got the right idea.
He does have the right idea. Too much.
And then this was incredible, because another supernatural thing happened right then.
There was another supernatural
It's
thing
like
besides
all week
all the stuff?
supernatural things going on.
Okay.
I know, and I want to read this one to you from the Bible.
Okay.
It's in Acts chapter 1, verses 9 through 11. And this is what happened. After Jesus said all these things, he was taken up into a cloud while they were watching, and they couldn't see him anymore, and they looked so hard to look up to heaven, and then they saw two white-robed men suddenly standing among them, who said, "Men of Galilee, why are you standing here looking into heaven? Jesus has been taken from you into heaven, but someday he will return from heaven in the same way you saw him go."
So wait,
Wow.
you're saying Jesus went up
in a cloud
and then went into heaven from there?
He didn't even have a spacesuit on.
He just like went up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that? That's incredible. But
Kind of like we were in space today floating around. He
Yeah.
just floated up. Wow.
like if we'd been up here, we'd have seen him go by.
I think so.
Maybe.
I would have waved.
That would have been cool. But you know what? You said something else that he said that he's gonna come back.
What?
Yeah, he's not gone. He's gonna return back the same way. I think of him like going up in an elevator without the elevator. He's gonna come back down again to us on Earth.
Probably without an elevator.
Probably without an elevator.
That's amazing.
And before he comes, that way we have to make sure everybody knows about this
Yes.
and knows him. So we need to tell a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend who tells a
And
friend,
so on.
and etc.
Yes. So until Jesus comes back, we need to be busy loving Jesus and talking about him so that all our friends, all our family can get to know Jesus too.
And then they can tell.
We get the point.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing. Well, I love, we've kind of come full circle in this whole thing of how all of this is transforming our lives, and it's not for nothing. It's because we're supposed to do something. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think that should be our log it for today.
Look, log it.
What should be our log it?
Our log it
Log
is Jesus.
Log it.
Yes. Oh, I understand how you feel now, Houston.
Yes, it's very fun.
We're gonna log it.
Log it? Still
Okay.
going? No? Okay. Our log it for today is that Jesus came to supernaturally encounter us and transform our lives. So now we want to go and tell others so he can transform their lives too.
And then they can tell someone, and they
We
can
get
tell.
it, Rocket Dan.
Yes, Rocket Dan. Just
Well,
like
that
that.
is the best news ever.
I think so
I
too.
love it. Well, that's awesome. Well, you know what? I hope that they have had as much fun as we have had.
I know.
right? And we probably have a few more things we have to do here around the
Well, we got to
space
clean up
station.
from our whole week of fun, so we got to
Yes.
get everything taken care of.
So, yeah, so we're gonna
This has
take
been a great
off.
time, yeah. So yeah, so we're gonna
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Your love breaks on me like an ocean, and I'm caught in your rolling sea. Your love is a place like a wide open space. Call me out into all I can be. I found my life in mercy deep. Found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. I will walk on the waves of your promise. I will walk in your word over me. the place like a wide open space. Call me out into all I can be. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. Call me out into all I can be. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you. I found my life in mercy deep. I found your kingdom on my knees. I found salvation wild and free when I found you.
Hi guys! I just wanted to remind you of the story that we talked about tonight. We learned two things. The first thing that we learned was the story of how Jesus gave a last message to all of his disciples, and that's to us too, that we're supposed to share the truth about Jesus with everyone that we meet. I think that's so exciting because if Jesus changes us, he can change other people too. And that leads us to our logit. Jesus came to supernaturally encounter us and transform our lives. That means to change us. And so he wants us to tell others about him so he can change their lives too. I'm just so excited about what that means for each of us. Now, I think we're ready to wrap things up here tonight, but I'll probably see you around on Earth sometime soon. Bye!
Hey there, Space Cadets. Thank you so much for joining us for VBS 2020. We have reached the end of our nightly transmissions, but we're so glad that you chose to join us. And for those of you who are here every single night, a special kudos goes to you.
We want to say a very special thank you to Rocket Dan, Houston, and Dr. Pruvit for putting their lives on hold to transmit stories about God's Word from space.
And a special thank you goes out to Ryan and the Space Rocks. Man, you guys rocked it this week.
Yes,
thank you so much.
And we don't want to leave out Jupiter Jason and the tech team who made sure that all of our equipment was functioning and we were able to get those transmissions from space. So much work, so many hours went into this week.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all we have for tonight, except that one special announcement, Dr. Dillard.
That is right. We aren't quite finished.
Right.
Tomorrow, there will be a special post-mission report, and we will wrap up the week, and we will reveal whether or not we met our offering goal, and, more importantly, whether or not the boys or the girls brought in the most money and can spend the whole year saying, "We did it."
Well, that's all we have for tonight. We'll see you for that special post-mission statement tomorrow morning. But my name is Captain Katie. This is Lunar Lisa and Dr. Diller signing off for the last time from CW Space Central. Have a great year.
Bye.